Okay, so you're an entrepreneur now and you're super excited about getting started with digital marketing because you know the high returns that it has. Or you're someone who just searched and watched a webinar about how to make money fast on all things social media. And now you're probably super excited about all these things you learned and all the results that people had in the past, and you cannot wait to get started. Oh, and you also think that social media is the way to get rich quick. Well, I'm gonna need to tell you to take a few steps back and tell you that's probably not the case. In today's video, guys, I'm going to debunk the 5 most common assumptions that people have about digital marketing that can really impact and ruin your ways on digital marketing and social media in general. And trust me, guys, I'm sharing all these things and these assumptions and debunking them step by step from a place of experience. I know what it really feels like to be at the top of the world after watching a webinar, after going through some YouTube videos, an Instagram post, and being hit with some pretty real realizations. And if you guys are curious about learning all these things as well and you want to hear my thoughts on this, then be sure to keep on watching. Okay, so the very first thing that I want to always address is that people always think that social media is a profitable venture. And to some extent it is a profitable venture, but in my eyes, from what I've experienced so far, social media is a vehicle. And so people often think that when you post something on social media, a post, a video, on YouTube per se, or even like Facebook advertising, that you'll get the return that you see and that you desire right away. And it's not the case all the time. It can be faster than others, for sure. And so again, I would really stress to say that social media isn't necessarily a profitable venture. It's more of a vehicle that can help get your business to reach greater audiences and broaden your reach and your message quickly. The second assumption that I have is that people often do assume that they can just guess general trends for their digital marketing platforms and their social media platforms. I often see a lot of people just doing random things and not having a plan in place and not really acting on their data that they have inside their Google Analytics or even their ads, and really seeing the performance and the audience that comes through. Because if you can see the people who are reacting to your ad, they're maybe 50 to 60, you obviously don't want to put an ad out targeting only 25 to 30. This is often an assumption that I feel like a lot of people who are really just starting out often do. And so I just want to reaffirm that this is something that you don't want to do, and really hone in on the fact that digital marketing is data driven and that you have data results for a reason. So you can take your data as insight for improvements and changes that you want to really implement in the future as well. The third assumption is that all platforms and all customers are equal. This is an assumption that I didn't really understand at first, because I was like, okay, people who are older tend to have more money, people who are younger tend to not have as much money. So this is a strange assumption, but I just want to address it as well. You cannot assume that all customers are going to be the same, and you cannot assume that all platforms are going to be the same, because every customer is very unique in the sense depending on the age range and interest, and it is also dependent and different for every single platform that you decide to be on. You know, people like TikTok, you will tend to get a younger audience. However, necessarily these audience and the people that have and use TikTok aren't necessarily the people that want to buy a high ticket product. And so what you need to realize is that different platforms and different customers have different needs and different wants, and they'll be at different places at different times. And so there's a lot to really consider at this point. And so then this is a good indication for you, if this is your assumption that you commonly make, to really take a step back and realize then, okay, so I need to kind of strategize exactly what platforms I want to be on and exactly who I'm going to target. And if the platforms that I'm going to be on are the people that I want to target, going to be on those platforms, because then you don't want to be making random content for, you know, an audience that isn't really active on the platforms that you're on. You want to be where the people are. You want to be exactly where people are, you know, really active on their platforms and really socializing as well, because this is the perfect place for you to get your perfect customer. Assumption number 4 is that loyalty translates into profitability. And this is a really big one, because, you know, someone that is a follower, someone that likes your page, shares your tweet, isn't necessarily someone that will buy your product. You know, it's more likely for them to be encouraged and advocate for your business, but they aren't necessarily someone that would maybe buy your product. And I know that a lot of people might say that loyalty comes in different forms. And yes, I do agree that loyalty can be following, liking, subscribing to an email list, religiously watching your videos, different types of loyalty will translate to different types of profitability. But I would definitely say that it's not always the case. You need to really funnel down exactly what loyalty means to you. It's not necessarily just following, it's not necessarily just liking, watching a video. It needs to be something more confined and more narrow and niched. So in the sense that people are maybe they sign up for a discovery call, they sign up for a free trial. You need to really define exactly what loyalty means, because the more narrow that you really define your loyalty meaning, it will then translate better into profitability. Because if you translate loyalty in the very highest level of liking and subscribing and just watching your video into high paying customers, you might get kind of discouraged because these customers aren't all going to be paying for your product. And assumption number 5 is that you know what the customer wants. People who get into business, who doesn't know what the customer wants? Because if you start a business, you obviously started with a problem. You obviously started with a need. And so if I'm saying this, I'm saying that everyone is really starting off really wrong, because people who start obviously are going to be the wrong. And I'm not trying to say that. Basically what I'm trying to say is that people often do change their minds. And so anybody who goes into business, you need to understand that customers are always changing. They're going to be changing no matter what. And they're going to have a different change of mind, different change of heart, different change of interest, depending on their circumstances. I think it's really important for any business owner and digital marketer to really understand that customers will have a ever-changing interest and palette of different things that they like. And I know what I just said might have been a little complicated, but pretty much what I'm just trying to say is that you kind of need to be agile in terms of the customer demand. You might not always know what the customer wants, because customer wants and needs do change daily, if not hourly, depending on their circumstances and what they're being influenced by. And so just being able to be super agile and really open to change. Alright guys, so that's a wrap to this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed it, because these are pretty much the common assumptions that I saw on the internet, and some of them were actually really relevant to me when I first started out. I had a bunch of assumptions about digital marketing success and social media success, and I would definitely say that a lot of it has changed from when I first started in digital marketing. So I hope that this video was helpful for you, and if you did like it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and also subscribe, because I post videos here every Sunday on all things online marketing. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.